Almighty Radio.
Hello out there, welcome to this brand new edition of 5-Round MMA. My name is Alex Ramirez, alongside my co-hosts Guillermo Cita and Albert. Just want to thank you for listening, whatever platform you are, whether it be Podomatic, iTunes, or YouTube channel. So thank you for checking in once again this week. We got a big show. We had a big show last week too, but what happened, Albert?
I don't want to talk about it, but let's just say
we're gonna talk about it.
There's technical difficulties, and I wasn't able to provide the last podcast that we did last week.
Yeah, so we spit hot breath for nothing for an hour, right, Guillermo?
Yeah. It was a really good podcast, in case you guys were wondering.
Yeah, so I guess it was our April Fool's prank, I guess.
That was April Fool's, guys.
Yeah.
You guys didn't get a podcast.
Yeah. I know you guys are hurting for it. So before we get started, let's actually go with the if you're an MMA fight fan or MMA fan in general, April Fool's is kind of a day where you kind of fall for
and
a lot of stuff.
News came out.
Yeah, so it was a good balance between actual breaking news and April Fool's. So as you know, 90% of the population, 95%, does their scrolling on the toilet. So, Guillermo, what April Fool's got you? What fake fight announcement, what fake injury got you on April Fool's from MMA?
Freaking Jason Hendricks freaking texts us that BJ Penn and George St. Pierre might be fighting at UFC 200 at 155 out of all things. That alone, I should have said that's April Fool's.
Yeah, that got you. That got you though, a little bit. Albert, about you? Anything happened April Fool's?
No, you can't fool me.
Sure.
First of all, you can't fool me. As soon as I heard that BJ Penn GSP thing, I just rolled my eyes and said, "Come on, please." Yeah.
I think I saw one Photoshop of was it Rousey versus Carano at UFC 200? Gina Carano. That kind of got me for a little second, but oh wait, yeah, but. Anyways, my more common sense got to me. So, all right, let's get to the real stuff. One of the things that did break on April Fool's was Daniel Cormier reportedly being out. Get him to start the round, actually. Give it timer, please.
Yeah,
come on.
Sorry.
So, round number 1, Cormier out at UFC 197 with an undisclosed injury. Has he came out yet?
No. They haven't even released a statement or anything.
Yeah, so a lot of people are saying, no, this is fake because it came out on Friday. It's not going to happen. But everybody woke up Saturday, April 2nd. He was still hurt.
I think Dana White went on ESPN just because, there's too much April Fool's going around that.
So, report was he's injured while training. It's not a significant injury. I guess
4
he
to
hurt
6 weeks. I heard that he's going to be out.
But he's not going to make it to UFC 197. So just an initial reaction when you first heard about news of Daniel Cormier out.
It's only a matter of time before we get some bad news. I mean, it seems like that's always the case when you have this lineup or something that the UFC has in place.
Yeah.
Something happens. Something derails that car.
Well, what do we say when they have the Unstoppable press conference? What are the chances of all those fights actually happening? Look at we're not even a month removed from the UFC Unstoppable press conference, and one of the biggest fights is now off the card. So, Albert, thoughts and reactions to when you heard DC's out?
Well, at first, I was upset, but I had a feeling this fight wasn't going to go through for some reason. Sometimes when it's too good to be true, it just really is.
Yeah.
And on top of that, I was the first thought was I'd rather see that Rumble Johnson match. I don't know why. I almost want to see Rumble Johnson versus Jon Jones more than I want to see the DC rematch for some reason. Just because maybe because there's a small chance I think that Rumble Johnson can really knock out Jon Bone Jones, and I don't think DC will be able to knock him out. He'll be able to grind him out instead.
I really thought Jon Jones wasn't going to make it to the fight, especially after the news broke out that he had called the police officer a pig.
Well, he's going through legal troubles.
And he was going through legal trouble. I really thought that was going to derail the fight. To be honest, I didn't see DC not making it to the fight.
Yeah.
There's still question marks with Jon Jones even making it to this card because depending on what happens, transpires
legally,
I haven't really heard. I heard that he's probably going to get another get out of jail card.
Free card.
Yeah, free card.
Hand the judge some free tickets to UFC 197.
So he'll proceed to fight at UFC 197.
So obviously we all know Daniel Cormier is part of AKA American Kickboxing Academy. He was injured while training. Dana White has been notorious for criticizing this camp for going too hard. Cain Velasquez has been healthy in 4 years. Is this a camp another issue with AKA how they run things there, or just an injury while training type of thing? Don't look into it.
I say don't look into it. It's a minor injury. I mean, it's 4 to 6 weeks. I mean, look at what happened to Rafael Dos Anjos. I mean, it was a fracture in his foot that it takes 4 to 6 weeks to recover. I think it's something similar to that, where it's just a small fracture that is affecting his training, and it will affect him during the fight.
Albert, anybody brings any criticism for AKA? They're in the wrong here.
It all depends on the injury, to tell you the truth. I think if it comes out like he has a broken arm, maybe that's what it is. But to tell you the truth, most of the time when I hear their injuries, I always think like, well, that can happen in any camp. I mean, yeah, do they go a little extra hard? Yeah, I probably think so. But to tell the truth, they're not like these major injuries. I mean, Cain Velasquez has a history of knee problems and stuff like that, and no one talks about that. How that could attribute to the injury rather than the actual training camp itself.
The other thing too, there's too much on the line for him to not, or a small injury, even if it's minor, for him to still compete at this level. I mean, like, you compete, you're trying to get revenge on Jon Jones, and you come up short again, and it's due to the injury. Like, why not try to prepare yourself at close to 100% as possible?
Yeah, reports that somebody saw him like a few weeks back at some clinic or something like that, and he was kind of limping. I guess now it didn't, instead of getting better, it got worse. So he's like, you know what, like you said, I don't want to risk it. I want no excuses here. I want to be 100% when I face Jon Jones, or at least close to 100%, because I know no fighter's ever 100% when they go into a bout. Yeah. But no major excuse. Well, if it wasn't for my hamstring, I would have beaten you. So,
and I prefer that. I mean, if he really wasn't 100%, I prefer that, because when it comes to these type of fights, I always want to see the 100%. To each fighter. I never want to hear so and so and so and so. There's some fights that I'm like, oh, come on, who cares if you're hurt or not? Let's see the fight. But there's some that I think there's too much on the line that you don't want to see. Yeah.
I mean, I was disappointed, but I was hoping that maybe it would be postponed. But now they're going to put Jon Jones in the interim light heavyweight title bout. And even before, Jon was like, I'll fight at heavyweight. I'll do whatever it takes to
I didn't believe him.
Save this card.
He said that on Instagram, but then when he called Dana White, he was like, I just meant light heavyweight, though. So don't even try looking for heavyweights.
So we'll get into that a little in the next round, actually. But DC, I think this is his first major injury, right? So he's not going to be injury prone from now on, you think? I don't want the trend of something else. I can't think of him being injured before this.
Yeah, I can't either, but I think he's getting up
he's
there
older,
in age.
yeah.
He's getting up there in age, so I mean, it could be a start of a trend.
Yeah.
What sucks though is like the next round we'll get into Jon Jones, but I mean, like, Daniel Cormier is out 4 to 6 weeks. I mean, like, what if the Jon Jones fight takes a long time? Like, it's for the interim title.
Yeah.
So we could possibly see DC not be able to get his title back or unify the belts.
Yeah, until like December. Or
exactly.
So that's it for round number one. Stick around for round number two. We're talking about Jon Jones and his new opponent who's been named. And should he have fought heavyweight or just keep that light heavyweight? So stick around, guys. Welcome back. Time for round number two. So when news broke about Daniel Cormier out of UFC 187, next question was, what's up with Jon Jones? The Bullet Club, I like that, Guillermo. What's next with Jon Jones? Is he going to be pulled from the card completely? Can this card even sustain not have this main event? What's on this card, Albert? UFC 197 off the top of your head? No?
I will give you a rundown right now. We got, of course, Demetrius Johnson versus Henry Cejudo.
Okay, so
Anthony Pettis, Edson Barbosa, Robert Whittaker, Rafael Natal.
Yeah.
And then after that, it doesn't really matter unless you care about Sergio Pettis.
So there was another championship bout on UFC 197.
Yeah.
It could have been saved.
Since it was the flyweights, it would have been a little bit tricky. Anthony Pettis, maybe not as much stock in him as there was before. So it could have been a whole disaster, I think, if Jon Jones would have dropped out of the fight.
So he went on social media with Instagram saying, I'm willing to do whatever it takes to save this card. I'll even fight at heavyweight, actually.
Liar.
And then a couple hours later, it's
That's
announced.
an April Fool's.
And then a couple hours later, it's announced that, oh, no, you're going to face OSP, Oven St. Piao, for interim light heavyweight title. So what happened to this heavyweight, just let's save the card together. Nobody really loses here.
It's funny hearing you two talk about that, because you guys gave the same, like, oh, it's Dana White's fault that Conor McGregor, I can't believe he's doing that with Conor McGregor making him fight at 170, and then now here you are, yeah, Jon Jones, you should fight at heavyweight when it's not even his weight class. And so, I mean, like, it blows my mind how much work, depending on the fighter.
It should have blown your mind, because he stated he's willing to fight at heavyweight.
And so did Conor McGregor, but what did Albert say?
But the difference is, you're going from a guy.
It's Dana White's fault because he's allowing it to happen.
No.
He didn't.
No.
You're getting it 100% wrong here. First of all, Conor McGregor was fighting a weight class he has never touched even waters in. Jon Jones supposedly walks around 220. Your heavyweight champion.
Conor McGregor walks around at 170.
Your former, what welterweight champion has ever walked around 170? Let's keep it real. Your former heavyweight champion, Cain Velasquez, walks around 220. The same weight that Jon Jones walks around. Travis Brownie walks around that same weight. So come on now. It wasn't.
And also, like, Jon Jones to the heavyweight division has been out in the air forever. He's stated he's sized up Cain Velasquez a few times, so it's not like out of nowhere like Conor McGregor was. I'm going up to welterweight now, guys.
If Conor would have been like, I'll fight in lightweight or featherweight, I think that's equivalent to Jon Jones fighting heavy or light heavyweight?
This isn't like, it's kind of out of left field. But okay, so anyways, not heavyweight, whatever. I'm not calling him out on that, whatever. It's interesting, like, why would you say it and then backtrack? So he's going to face OSP for interim title. I already know what's the point of that. I mean, either way, I guess it's guaranteed.
Why fought Jon Jones?
I think they just want Jones to have a belt, so it's going to be belt versus belt.
I guess the UFC loves the poster when there's 2 titles on both guys' shoulders.
It looks more better.
So OSP, was this because the only other lightweight who was Jon Jones haven't beaten yet? Is that why?
It's funny because I was watching the Sports Center and hey, breaking news, we're gonna have Dana White in like the next segment.
Yeah.
And when he explained it, I mean, like he said, if you really go down the list from Jon Jones is number 1, you go 2, already booked 3, booked 4, booked 5, booked 6. Oh, not booked. Yeah. That was OSP. But he really said it really came down to Rashad Evans or OSP when he said in the interview. And he decided OSP because Rashad Evans already has a matchup with Glover Teixeira.
And he already lost to Jon Jones anyway.
Yeah, exactly. And OSP has never fought Jon Jones.
And since the knockout loss to Machida, Evans hasn't been the same good fighter. He hasn't been exciting. He's been boring since then.
You know what I like is never once did anyone mention Ryan Bader. He's number 5. For crying out loud. Give the guy some respect. He's number 5.
I forgot all about Ryan Bader.
And he has a win. And he has a win over Oven St. Piux. So I don't know. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I like how he clearly skipped over Ryan Bader and didn't even mention Ryan Bader.
What's the sexier matchup, OSP or Ryan Bader? Let's be honest.
I know what's sexier. I'm just saying.
Well, no, Bader already lost to Jon Jones. Though, remember when they were both undefeated and he choked him out in like less than a minute.
DC lost to him too, and they're going to main event that.
Yeah, but DC went the distance with them, so it's kind of hard to.
The point is
that he's ranked higher.
He's ranked higher.
Yeah, but OSP hasn't faced Jon Jones. That fight's more intriguing.
Yeah.
Body types, they're actually similar body types.
Yeah.
Albert mentioned this yesterday that the thing about Alexander Gustafsson is that he's not that good, but he has the reach. I was like, well,
that's true.
Then OSP has the same thing. The difference is OSP has more power than Alexander Gustafsson.
So we'll see. I mean, if it's gonna be a big upset or not.
I remember reading about Alexander Gustafsson saying that he was disappointed and that he was looking to retirement. I mean, even Jason reminded me on that. But
it was April Fool's.
I don't think he's retired, and I don't know why he wasn't brought up or even mentioned or to say. I know we got an update of why Rumble Johnson wasn't the person that was chosen, but I would like to hear why Alexander Gustafsson wasn't even in the mix.
And Anthony Rumble was what? Is he hurt? Right?
He I guess he just got
broken jaw.
Yeah, and he can't even eat or chew.
Yeah, drinking out of a straw.
Yeah, they can't even put a mouthpiece in his mouth. So
OSP it is, and we'll see how that card plays out, how that fight plays out, and whether or not DC and Jones will lock horns in 2016. So that's it for round number 2. Stick around for round number 3. We're gonna start to dissect the projected lineup for UFC 200 or the official lineup now that the UFC. Announced a plethora of matchups coming up for one of the biggest cards in history. So we'll see if it's worth buying or not. So stick around, guys. Welcome back. UFC 200 is finally being finalized now after weeks and weeks of speculation. We knew about Travis Brownie and
Cain Velasquez,
but UFC announced that Joe Lozon versus Diego Sanchez is going to be on there.
Diego Sanchez gets his second victory in a row.
Johnny Hendricks versus Kevin Gastelum is going to be on that card. And then also Dana White's boy toy, Sage Northcutt, is on the card against Enrique Martin. Is that a surprise to you guys? Sage Northcutt's going to be on that card?
No.
I'm more surprised than Enrique is on the card.
You talk about Roman Reigns in the WWE, you have Sage Northcutt in the UFC.
But there's a difference, though. Sage can fight. Yeah. Roman Reigns can't wrestle.
Even despite losing, I think they're going all in on Sage Northcutt. It's cool. I mean, the guy... You want to react.
It's a learning.
He has promise.
The kid's 19.
Yeah.
It was a learning experience. He was winning that fight.
Yeah.
He made a dumb mistake by doing that fancy kick and not recovering or not positioning himself. That wasn't even a deep submission. He knows that. We all know that. He knew he shouldn't have tapped. He should have fought off a little bit more.
Yeah.
It's just a learning process, and I think they're going back to what I originally thought they should have done and ease them in rather than just try to give them different looks of different fighters that are strong in certain areas.
And this guy invokes reaction to anybody. They love him, hate him, so that's what you want out of a fighter. You want a fighter to get reaction from the fans, and more power to
him. And I guess Dana White's been watching NXT because he has Japanese fever because he put Takenaga Gomi in this matchup too. Like if Gomi was somebody,
Jim Miller, right?
Yeah, because last time I checked, I don't think Gomi has won anything in a while.
Yeah, so the co-main event or at least the two other bouts were announced, but we're going to say that for the championship rounds. Dana White said another championship bout, a women's championship bout, may be added to the UFC 200.
Yeah, Gomes has 2 losing streaks, by the
So
way.
out of what we know from this undercard, is this thing, UFC 200 getting something you're excited about? Is he like, oh man, it's going to be history in the making?
If you're talking about undercard, no, but it's notable names. Let's just say that. I mean,
Yeah.
I just think there's no real implication. You talk about the Gomi fight versus Jim Miller. Aren't both of them coming off losses?
Yeah.
Sage Norca, isn't he coming off a loss? Joe Lozon, isn't he coming off a loss? Diego
Yeah.
Sanchez, towards the end of his career, I mean, even though he's coming out of a win.
When our friend
But-
when Jason sent us a text about BJ Penn versus GSP, that April Fool's prank that Gamma fell for, one of the things you said was, "Oh, this is a Bellator freak show card now." And even with Nate Diaz and Frankie Edgar too, and then Jose Aldo and Frankie Edgar fighting for this fake belt, this does have the feel of kind of like, we're just putting these guys together, almost like a freak show type of feel. I think.
I don't think it's a full freak show, but I think they're trying to have the best possible matchups that people want to watch.
Best fights. Fights.
So if we're saying this is UFC's equivalent to WrestleMania, right?
Yeah.
I feel that they are exactly like WrestleMania is this year, where the potential was there, right?
Yeah.
But it's not enough to say this is the card to watch for the year.
I mean, you go back.
Do you have the players?
Yeah.
Yes. You know, you got your Cain Velasquez, your Diego Sanchez, your Sage Northcutt, your Nate Diaz, your Conor McGregor.
Zero
your
title fights. All the guys are coming off losses. Even Nate Diaz isn't coming off on a roll either.
What I want to know is, was Robbie Lawler? Were you not able to find Robbie Lawler an opponent?
Yeah.
Or is Robbie Lawler hurt? These kind of things is what really bothers me, because I think
Well, don't
adding a Robbie Lawler,
Well, they still got one more
Yeah,
announcement too.
and don't forget, Dos Anjos hasn't, he's not booked.
Well, yeah,
currently.
mentioned Dos
And then
Anjos.
the women's title isn't booked.
So,
recently.
yeah,
So there's 3 potential matches.
as
that we
of
can
now,
probably see.
is it an exciting card? Yes.
Okay, but
is
still-
it the card of all cards?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, but still,
No.
you said, is RDA versus fill in the blank? Is that get you excited about? Depends who it is.
If you add it on there, we're starting to get there.
Robbie Lawler versus ex opponent. Does that make you excited for UFC 200?
GSP.
Misha Tate versus ex opponent. Does that make you excited for UFC 200?
Yes, it does.
It does?
Yeah,
That
Ronda
makes me
Rousey
sad.
or
Yeah.
Holly Holm.
It's not gonna be Ronda. I don't think it's Ronda Rousey. I think she's gonna wait for down the line when they go to New York.
But
probably,
see, each individual of those matchups
Yeah.
does excite me. No, but once you look at that,
That
in
card,
a
you're getting
card,
good fight
Yeah,
after
yeah.
good fight
dude,
after good fight.
that's easily one of the
I
greatest
think
cards ever.
obviously the only thing we have to go back to is UFC 100 with 2 title fights and a tough finale. Maybe that's what my expectation was for this card. But the fact that every other UFC pay-per-view has 2 title fights on this bout, I'll just pick maybe 3 title fights.
Yeah,
for
that's
UFC
what I'm
200.
saying.
Or
Look
every
back-
fight being a title fight.
Yeah, or every fight being a title fight, not a champions type of thing.
And
but
again, real quick, I do like to give him credit, because they did put all the fan favorites: Nate Diaz, Conor
Yeah.
McGregor, Cain Velasquez, Johnny Hendricks, Gegard Mousasi,
Johnny
Sage
Hendricks is not a fan
Northcutt,
favorite.
Diego Sanchez. But these are all guys that you can go to any bar, mention any of these guys' names that I just said,
Yeah.
and people know who they are.
Yeah.
So that's why.
Johnny Hendricks? No, I don't think so.
Trust me, people know who Johnny
the
Hendricks
big
is. bro.
rig, of course they do. So that's it for the undercard for UFC 200. And the championship rounds following up the break. Now we're going to get to the Frankie Edgar versus Jose Aldo interim belt title, and also talk about the main event, McGregor versus Diaz too. So stick around this quick little break, and we'll be right back. Never miss a beat. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at FiveRoundMMA. Like us on Facebook. Subscribe to us on iTunes, YouTube, Podomatic, and visit FiveRoundMMA.com.
Oh, yeah. Cream of the crop.
All right, time to enter the championship rounds. Something that this next topic that we're talking about, Frankie Edgar knows all about. So it was announced UFC 200, not the co-main event, or one of the big matchups, going to be the interim featherweight title bout between.
Hey, it is a championship match. We were talking in the previous round.
Yeah, I know.
So.
But this is an interim belt.
Interim
Belt that
It still counts,
interim
guys.
title that's going to happen, that the champion of that division is actually going to fight on that card.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you're Frankie Edgar and if you're a Frankie Edgar loyalist and you're a fan of Frankie Edgar, how mad are you about this? Are you
You're not
happy
mad
or
at
No,
all.
you take it. You take it.
Take it.
It's killing 2 birds with 1 stone, because Jose Aldo.
No birds are being killed in this stone.
Because the real problem was that you had Jose Aldo wanting the rematch. You have Frankie Edgar being, right behind him, going on this 5-6 fight win streak, and then you have Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor can't fight both guys. You kill two birds with one stone.
Can he?
No, he can't. Because now you eliminate one of the guys automatically by the loser, and you unify the belts. And Frankie Edgar wants a title belt, so that it sets that up instead of a number one contendership when Jose Aldo fights Conor McGregor.
So after McGregor gets beaten by Nate Diaz again, is he even going to fight the winner of this bout? I mean, because he's been ducking them both.
He has to. He has to. That's the whole point.
What if it's a 5-round decision by Frankie Edgar? Frankie did all right. He survived Jose Aldo.
It doesn't matter. He's the interim champion. You got to unify the belt. That's why I'm telling you that it's a positive thing.
But for what we've seen so far, when McGregor wants, McGregor gets. What if he says, "No, I wasn't impressed by your performance, Frankie Edgar. I'm not going to fight you."
Then you strip Conor McGregor of the belt, and Frankie Edgar becomes the unified champion at featherweight division. It's easily solved. I think it solves a lot of problems by this matchup.
Again, this is the Conor McGregor show. Don't ever get it wrong.
Exactly.
Never get it wrong. That's the Conor McGregor show. If Conor McGregor wins, he picks where the heck he wants.
Yeah.
He can go for Robbie Lawler. He can go for Rafael Dos Anjos. He can go for no belt.
Yeah.
It's his show. It's up to him.
He can go to WrestleMania 33 and challenge Undertaker if he wants.
Yeah, exactly. If he wanted to. But let's say if he loses again to Nate Diaz, I think his only option is to defend the belt.
Yeah.
That's the only reason. The only way the featherweight is title is in play with Conor McGregor.
But you don't think
if he loses. That is it.
You don't
period.
think that Jose Aldo versus Frankie Edgar is insurance for the UFC in case Conor McGregor wins and doesn't want to defend the belt? Because at least you have someone
it's all what he wants, though. It's all.
I totally understand that, but to me, it's insurance for the UFC in case Conor McGregor is all like, no, you know what? I'm gonna fight Rafael Dos Anjos now.
Well, either way, then you strip him, then you have a legit champion.
Exactly. That's the whole point. You have a legit champion at featherweight division instead of
nobody's gonna doubt the credentials of Aldo. Nobody's gonna doubt the credentials of Frankie Edgar.
Exactly.
And I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm gonna go for Frankie Edgar.
Yeah, me too. I wasn't a Frankie Edgar fan.
The answer is bad.
I hate everything from Jersey. I hate your mayor of Jersey. I hate the mayor of Jersey. I hate the beaches in Jersey. I hate Jersey Shore.
Coming from the guy that's never been to Jersey.
And I never will be in Jersey.
He hates the Nets.
And I never will be. I hate the Nets.
It
disgusts me.
They're in Brooklyn now.
Jason Kidd.
Jason Kidd. Everything. But the point is, I'm going to go with Frankie Edgar because Jose Aldo is getting to my last nerve with his little tweets and pictures, doing his little, shut up, Conor McGregor, or how about, dude, shut up, you got knocked out, all right? First of all, how about you go and do something to see whatever, and then go do, that's why I'm like, honestly, the Brazilians are rubbing me the wrong way really fast. Because I'm like, dude, why don't you go do something and then say something, man? Yeah. He's doing it all wrong. If he's trying to conjure up his whole image and stuff like that, you're doing it the wrong way, man.
He's turning heel just like you always want from Jon Jones. Sorry for the guy finally.
But that's not turning heel. In a way, it's still walking the fence. It's still walking the fence, and that's what always irritates me with Jon Jones. Bro, go full heel, bro. Yeah. Ain't no one judging you now.
I'm the complete opposite with Frankie Edgar. He actually won me over with his mental resilience and just being shoved down by the man. You see, no, you were not succeeding.
It's like the whole Daniel Bryan thing. Yeah, I think the yes movement is happening with Frankie Edgar.
Exactly.
Frankie, I feel it. I feel the burn now.
They're trying to keep him down. He's saying no. And he's actually won me over with his attitude, and winning actually. So I mean,
I'm all for Frankie Edgar.
Guillermo was the biggest Frankie Edgar fan in the room now. But
I've been calling it for years, man. He's always been put down. Even when the Great Maynard, he had to fight the guy 3 times. He had to fight BJ Penn 3 times.
Ben Anderson twice.
They don't believe that he's that good that you had to put him 3 times. You give him a nickname 3 times, Frankie.
2 times.
Frankie 2 times. But yeah, so hopefully we'll see. I mean, I think in order for me to really McGregor has to fight either Frankie Edgar or Jose Aldo again. He can't just he has to fight Frankie Edgar.
If he wins, I honestly don't see him fighting them unless it's at 155.
Then I mean,
it's the truth. It's the truth. It's what I really see.
All power to McGregor. He's doing what every fighter should do. He's getting paid. But I mean, you can't just say, "Oh, you're the greatest ever." If you keep.
Well, the thing is, he hasn't fought Frankie Edgar. He's fought Jose Aldo. He hasn't fought Frankie Edgar.
I'm already assuming.
Let me propose an honest question to you guys. Does it really matter if Conor McGregor has a belt or not?
No.
Exactly.
He's a belt himself.
Exactly.
Just transcend that already. He's made that more well known. So stick around for round number 5. We're actually gonna get into the McGregor versus Diaz rematch and why it's happening. Does it make sense? And other than getting paid, so stick around. All right, time for round number 5, the 5th and final round. We'll title this round whatever Conor wants, Conor gets. McGregor versus Diaz 2 has been announced for the main event for UFC 200. Even if they add a title fight, there's already an interim title fight on this card. No matter what, Conor McGregor is going to be the main event. rematch for a match he got against an opponent who choked him out not that long ago. I'm just stating facts here. Am I not stating facts? These are all facts, right?
Yeah, you are.
So, and it's going to happen at welterweight, right? If I'm correct?
Yeah, 170.
Yeah, 170.
From what I also read, an article saying that Dana White and the Fertittas actually tried to convince McGregor not to take this remount, but I guess...
Even his coaches did.
Well, they even offered the rematch at 155, and he said, no, I want it at 170.
Yeah. So I guess did he throw like a hissy fit? Is that what happened? Was he like throwing his toys around? Is that what happened?
I don't know, but I would say this, though. At least now we can say that Dana White and the Fertittas and UFC washed their hands with this.
Yeah.
They try their best to be reasonable as far as this matchup. And I really...
so this is Conor McGregor's own doing?
Yeah. This is Conor McGregor's own doing. No matter what happens, it's 100% on him now. So
it's another gamble.
Yeah, win or lose, after this fight, everybody that does MMA reviews and does anything that has to do with MMA has to give 100% credit, whether it's a win or lose, to Conor McGregor. This is on him now and nobody else.
Yeah.
You can't say it was so-and-so. No, it was you, dude.
It is smart
it was you, bro.
They came out and said, we try to convince him not to take it.
There's no way if he wins, Dana White can't take credit.
Which makes me kind of wonder.
If he loses, you can't blame Dana White.
Which is good and bad because obviously they're trying to protect him. Obviously, can you fight at 155, please?
It's not as much as protection as it just makes sense. Like, if you maintain 170 eating that much, it doesn't make sense for you to find that. And then for Nate Diaz just to lose 3 pounds. Yeah. It makes more sense that there has to be a give and take at this weight class.
Nate Diaz is such a pawn to Conor McGregor's game. What did Nate Diaz expect from taking this fight? Nate Diaz was not going to get paid, bro. Besides the money, Nate Diaz had nothing going for him because he won the fight, and he still gets no credit because this guy came up. That's why Jon Jones going to heavyweight makes no sense. That's why Nate Diaz taking this rematch makes no sense to him. If anything, if he wins again, you're supposed to win. The real pawn is Nate Diaz, and Conor McGregor has him twirling around.
Okay, but you're saying that
all for the money.
Yeah, okay, obviously for the money. But so if McGregor loses, then he should never talk about what the word welterweight should never come out of his mouth, right?
Because
again,
no, he could say whatever he wants because obviously he has the power for the fans to watch. Just that alone, he can make any matchup possible, whether it's GSP, whether it's Robbie Lawler. Anderson Silva. Anderson Silva just called him out recently. Yeah. So the real puppets are these guys accepting these fights at heavier weight classes. So I don't want to hear ever again discredit to Conor McGregor because these guys are the ones accepting the fights. And then the fact that they're not getting credit, that's their own fault.
Yeah, well, he's out there throwing the fish hook and they're biting it.
They're biting it. And I mean, like they're happy to take the bite because they're getting $500,000 off every fight. But I don't want to hear Nate Diaz crying again, saying, "Oh, well, obviously I ruined the UFC plans." And
it's just weird for us because like the Dana White and the Fertittas and the UFC spent so long establishing this culture. We're not about boxing. We're not boxing. We're not gonna.
But then you have guys.
Yeah, no, I'm saying that. But we're not gonna feed guys tomato cans. We're not gonna build it. It's all about the belt. It's all about fight. Anybody can win, anybody lose. And now you have this guy who's translating all the rules that they set up, and it's making it like boxing. This guy's going to different weight classes. You know, you have we'll fight at 147, even though we both fought at 150. You know, there's these weird weight classes now where it's like Floyd Mayweather who's picking his opponents because I could beat him and being protected, but more protecting the brand than protecting the sport, which is what MMA was not supposed to be. That's what boxing was, and it's completely different. So now it's just getting used to. Okay, you programmed us to think we're not like boxing, but now you guys are acting like boxing promoters now. So what, as fans, what are we supposed to do? As media obligation, what are we supposed to do?
I agree with you guys, but then there's still that slight disagreement where I think like for instance, Floyd Mayweather, he picks all his weight classes, who he wants to find this and that, but it's to his advantage. Yeah. The only advantage is what Guillermo hit on the head was that if Conor McGregor loses, it's not. It's almost forgivable in a way.
Yeah, but he's the only guy you can forgive for losing.
But with that said, though, Floyd Mayweather picks the weight class for his advantage to win. Yeah. And I don't think Conor McGregor is doing that. He's not picking a weight class for his advantage to win because if he was, it would have been at 155.
Yeah, seriously.
And so that's the only real disagreement I have. And I don't know, maybe it's one of those things where you gotta go big or you gotta go home.
Well, Conor McGregor,
but why though? He can still go big at 145.
I agree.
I don't know. 155.
The names aren't there.
Why?
I agree with
the names aren't there. I mean, you can get like Anthony Pettis, Cowboy Cerrone. Those are all bigger names than Nate Diaz.
But for crying out loud, Nate Diaz can make that weight though. Yeah, he can make that weight.
Well, he lost.
So he's part of that category.
Frankie Edgar's not a big. Frankie Edgar, they could sell out, and go to Brooklyn and sell out.
It's just. It's pride.
It's more his ego.
It's Conor being Conor, dog.
I mean, well, hopefully.
I think he wins the rematch. Honestly, I take Conor
No,
McGregor.
I'm still going for Conor McGregor.
He wins the rematch, then what?
I'm still going
But he wins the rematch, then what?
Then he gets GSP,
trilogy,
bro.
But then no
Then he
trilogy,
gets
right?
no trilogy. Nope.
He goes and
Nope.
I'll never see even utter the word Diaz ever
I
again.
don't
And then
think-
how it's just whatever.
I don't think you've
Hey,
seen
that's Nate
ever.
Diaz's
Yep,
fault.
yep.
Yeah. Anyways, all right. So that's it for this show. Wish we had more time, but WrestleMania weekend. So
Yeah, I gotta go get my WrestleMania. That means I need to get drunk right now so I can enjoy the show.
and then cry in the fetal position when
And then
nothing
I cry. Yeah,
happens, right?
when nothing happens, and I see no Finn Balor, no Doc Gallows, nothing.
All right. So make sure to follow us on Twitter
Carl
and
Anderson,
Instagram.
Machine Gun. I see you.
In the meantime, that's FiveRoundMMA. Like us on Facebook, subscribe to us on iTunes, YouTube, and Podomatic. And I guarantee this week's show will be up. Right, Albert?
Yeah, I'm not gonna forget anything this time.
And please visit FiveRoundMMA.com. A big thank you to all of our sponsors. First, the Rocking Green Eco-Friendly Cleaner Products, the 5 Rounds Clothing Line, and of course, the RMA Foundation, Redemption Martial Arts, Rise Up Against Bullying. And one final note, you can also check out this podcast under the podcast page at FightBookMMA.com, along with several other MMA podcasts.
Are you taking out the sugar packets?
That's FightBookMMA.com under the podcast page. What do you got?
I just want to say, hopefully, next week, all we're talking about is the Ballard Club. And thanks everybody for listening.
Oh yeah, the cream of the crop.
You are now listening to FRMMA Radio.